Of erectile dysfunction, or ED, as something that only affects older men. But a new study finds it's much more common in younger men than originally thought. This morning, Dr. Eileen Palace is here for this conversation. Yeah, and I think a lot of people will be surprised by that. I was.
Unfortunately, younger men are catching up. A new study that came out in the Journal of Sexual Medicine found that 26% of men under 40 had ED, and half of those had severe ED. So we know there's been a very big increase. So that catches up with older men, who of course have because of cardiovascular disorders, prostate cancer, diabetes. But why are these younger, healthier men getting it? Well, the most common cause is something we call spectatoring, or performance anxiety, or performance pressure.
Okay.
Our Western culture puts the majority of responsibility for sexual behavior on men, being the ones who orchestrate the sexual behavior, right?
Sure.
So a lot of men, unfortunately, buy into this notion, and it results in a rushed, mechanical, all genitals love style that puts undue pressure on men for both erection and performance. And so that when they start to worry about this, then what we have is what we're calling performance anxiety, performance pressure. Spectating means watching yourself. You're your own spectator of your own performance. And it means that we now have insecurities, worry, anxiety, distraction, body image issues that, of course, prevent you from getting aroused or reaching orgasm. So it's causing a lot of problems, most of it cognitive.
Interesting. Okay, and then porn's the other big issue, you said.
This one is interesting. It's called pornography-induced erectile dysfunction, and actually I'm going to admit that one of my colleagues says there's no empirical data to support that this exists. But if you see it as often as I do clinically, it's really very hard to ignore that something's going on, because I hear it very regularly. What has happened is we have the first generation of young men who are growing up who have easy, free, unlimited access on all their social media to pornography. And when they watch this from the time the average is 10 years old to 12 years old, so long before they've even had sex yet.
Yeah.
So when they first meet their first real partner, they've already conditioned their bodies to become highly aroused and stimulated, paired with pornography, and they have erectile dysfunction unless they're alone and watching pornography.
And we have on the screen now why pornography causes erectile dysfunction. Because of conditioning. You've conditioned your body to respond purely in the presence of that particular stimuli, and without it, you no longer become aroused. And we get, it's like, think about if you ate salt every single day on your food, and you did that for months, and all of a sudden when you stop having the salt, it doesn't taste like much, it's bland. The same thing happens. You become conditioned to watching that particular intense stimuli, and then when you stop seeing it and you're with a partner, of course she has her own insecurities and body image issues, and not at all like what they've been watching, they're no longer respond. Okay, so we've been having some quiz questions all morning long. You finally got the answers for us. Now that you've given us some information, we're ready. So the first one, what's the #1 most common cause of ED in young men?
Is anxiety and worrying, and the spectatoring, performance anxiety, performance pressure.
All right, our second question, true or false, the percentage of young men who experience ED is about the same as older men?
Unfortunately, that's true. Again, about 26%, and about half of those is severe.
All right, and #3, worrying about your sexual performance can cause ED, true or false?
Absolutely true. Very, very, very common in young, healthy men. We're seeing it more and more.
Disturbing trend.
It's performance anxiety, performance pressure, and fear that they're not going to be able to meet their own expectations. And so the treatment we use for that actually is we will use cognitive behavior therapy to change their unrealistic expectations. We use exercises to decrease performance pressure, mindfulness and relaxation exercises, and then expanding their repertoire so they can move beyond just looking at erections and performance.
Glad to know there is some help, Dr. Palace. Thanks for being with us this morning.